So today I've got not 1 or 2, but 10 rules or tips to help you live a long and happy life. Hi, my name's Christine L. Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women who are getting happy, living longer and growing younger. And we're all about longevity, positive aging, and of course happiness on this channel. I am a positive psychology practitioner, and increasing your happiness levels is my field. But we branched out a little bit. We're talking about positive aging, and we're talking more about living longer, which is why I wanted to talk about this today, because it's kind of a little bit of a departure, because yes, we want to live longer, we want to live healthier, but we do want to be happy. And as we know, there are certain things we know that help us to live happy, longer lives. But today I'm talking about a Japanese philosophy, and that is Ikigai. I actually love saying the word Ikigai, and that's what we're talking about. Now, it links quite nicely to us because, as I say, Ikigai is an ancient Japanese philosophy, and I'm kind of linking it to the Okinawans, Okinawa is one of the blue zones, where there are more people who live to be 100 than anywhere else. So I figure let's have a look at them and see what they can teach us. So there are 10 rules. I'd like you to stay to the end, because I am going to talk about that statement I have on my thumbnail, which says, whatever you do, do not retire. Now, I know many of my viewers are retired, and you will have an opinion on this, so stay till the end and I'll kind of explain it. So, what does Ikigai actually mean? I don't think there's an exact translation, but Iki means alive or life, and Gai means benefit or worth. So loosely translated to reason for being, or your reason for living. That would be your Ikigai. So my first question to you is, what's your reason for living? It's a serious question. Of course, it's incredibly deep, and it's one that very few of us actually ever ask ourselves. Frame it another way then. What gets you out of bed in the morning? If you have an answer to that, please put it in the comments box below. Share your answer. Share your reason for living. It might take you some time to think about, in which case think about it, but still let me know. Email me or drop it in the comments box, just so that you know, even if you put a comment on a video that I did 5 years ago, I will get to see it. It's not as though that video is now gone and you've no need to comment. That's not true. I will see those comments and be able to respond to them, even if it's a video 3 or 4 years old. So don't let that stop you. I'm keen to know, because I actually want to do a little bit of research into this. So if you have a short answer, your reason for being, pop it in the comments. If it's a longer answer, email me. I would love to know. Okay, so this video really is an introduction to a series of videos I want to talk about purpose and meaning, because in effect, that's what Ikigai is. It's your purpose and your meaning. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because it's no use us living to be 100, 110, 120, but not having a purpose for living, or not having any meaning or sense to life. You wouldn't want to live longer if you didn't have. And we know as human beings, we need to be able to make sense of things and have a purpose to do things, hence the video. But just as a quick introduction, as I say, I want to give you these 10 rules, which are great, and we know most of them, I have to say. We know most of them, but what these have come from. So the Japanese secret to living a long and happy life, here I'm simplifying it into these 10 rules of Ikigai, according to this book, which is a super little book. I'll leave a link to it down below. And it's written by Hector Garcia and Francesca Miralles. I'm sure I butchered those names. But anyway, so these are 10 rules that they give in this book, and I'm going to go through them. The first one is to stay active and do not retire. That quotation on my thumbnail, whatever you do, do not retire, actually comes from Hector Garcia. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there for a second and come back to it at the end. So number 2 is to take it slow down. There is a slow living movement, which is lovely to look at. And these things, as I've said to you before, take from them what suits you, what you can achieve and what you can do given your lifestyle. But please slow down and stop this permanent tension of, I've got to be there, I've got to do this, I've got to see her, if I don't do this, that will happen, if I don't do this, like this, constantly like this. You're in fight or flight the whole time. Not good for your health. Slow down. Do fewer things. Say no to some of the things that you're being asked to do. And this is whether you're working or retired. Learn how to say no so that you can slow down in your day, in any given day, because leaving urgency behind, life and time take on a whole new meaning in itself. Okay, number 3, don't fill your stomach. Well, we know this one. Eat less. I've talked about that recently in intermittent fasting. I'll leave a link to the video down below. I'll be coming back to it. Don't worry, I'm currently intermittent fasting myself, and I have to say, I feel 10 times better eating less. I don't know about you, but I do. So yes, I'll be doing more on that, of course. Number 4 is surround yourself with good friends. We're social animals. I've talked about this. The quality of your relationships, as you know, if you've been with me for a while, as far as positive psychology is concerned, has been proven to be right up there at the top in terms of your happiness levels, the quality of your relationships. So here where it says, surround yourself with good friends. Sometimes you may only have one good friend or 2 good friends. That's fine. But you need to cultivate friendships. And I would add to that, cultivate friendships with people of all ages and all generations. You know, you are enlightened. You watch my videos. You look after your health and you want to live longer. You're, possibly in the minority, and you might find yourself living to be 100 and there'll be no one else around you. Or your friends won't be there because they don't have the same values as far as that's concerned as you do. Make some younger friends, I would say. Bit tongue-in-cheek, but you have a much richer experience in life if your friends include people from different generations, let's put it that way. Number 5, get in shape. And I'm not just talking exercise here. I'm talking about just moving more. It's no use like we used to think, well, if I go to aerobics on a Friday night for half an hour, that's fine. It isn't fine. And I'm guilty of this. I said this to you before. Once I start to research, I start to do something, I get in the flow, in the zone, I lose track of time, and before I know it, I've been sitting down for 2 hours. Even more sometimes. I have to remind myself to get up and move. I do yoga every day, 5 or 6 times a week, let's say. I need to increase my aerobic exercise and also my strength exercise, and I'll be talking about that soon. But yeah, it's about moving more. Okay. And it releases endorphins anyway, moving, and makes you feel better, so it's worth doing for that reason alone. And number 6 is smile. Smile at me. Go on. You're not smiling. You're not smiling. Come on. Smile at me, and I don't mean this. Wait a minute, this smile. Where it doesn't reach your eyes. You need to smile with your full face and smile right up to your eyes. And do you know what? When you smile at other people, guess what happens? They smile back. You have to do it first because that's the nature of how some of us are. But they smile back, and a smile, the actual physiology of a smile makes you feel better. Try it. Smile. Automatically, you feel better. Such a simple thing. Very powerful. Very powerful. But it's also about keeping a cheerful attitude too, which also helps to make friends, of course. Number 7, again, we've talked about this, reconnecting with nature. We're learning more and more about the physical benefits of being in a forest, for example, or even just getting out and being in nature. Again, something at the moment Mr. Kitchen and I had to remind ourselves to do. You feel so much better. Okay, so number 8 is to give thanks. So this is living a life of gratitude. Obviously, gratitude, lots been talked about gratitude in recent years, and there's a good reason for it. If you find yourself getting up in the morning feeling out of sorts with all kinds of things that you think are going wrong in your life, find something to be grateful for. My legs move, I can see, and dig. If you have to dig that deep, so be it. But once you get yourself on that gratitude spiral, yes, I have a lot to be grateful for. All of a sudden it lifts you and it puts you on the upward spiral to help you deal with the things that you're out of sorts about. Told you that before. We've talked about gratitude before. And number 9 is live in the moment. Live in the moment. Focus attention on what you're actually doing right now. Looking at me, listening to me, and not kind of half listening and on your phone or scrolling on your phone. Focus totally on what you're doing in the present moment. Savor it, get joy from it. Time slows down actually when you do that as well. So it's mindfulness, and it's one of these rules of Ikigai, living a long and healthy life. And number 10 is actually follow your Ikigai. So what they're saying here is this reason you have for living, or your purpose in life, the meaning of your life and purpose in life, live with that, follow that, embrace that. So let's just say, and we're not talking about changing the world is my purpose, or we'll go dig deeper into it as we go further on. We're not talking about those things, not only those things, we're talking about small things. What's your reason for living today? And follow that, and live in the moment, be present with it, be grateful for it. All of those things, if you can remind yourself to live that way, it's going to increase your happiness levels. There's no doubt about it. Now, as I say, the Okinawan's live a life of Ikigai, and it increases their happiness and well-being, which is, of course, what we want. So I've skipped through those. Let me go back to number 1. They do not retire. Now, why would they say that? I mean, we all know of people, and this is why this video is actually late. It should have been last week. But when I looked at this and started to do some research on it, I know people who lived their long lives and then finally retired, and within months of retirement passed away. I'm sure you've heard of that too. Now, why is that? And is there any gravitas to that idea? So I tried to do some research on the connection between mortality and retirement, or even early retirement. And to be honest with you, although it was only a small research project, but it was entirely mixed. I couldn't get any definitive answers that would help me to talk to you about it. I mean, why would later retirement affect your health, happiness and longevity anyway? Well, if you can put off, so for example, what they're saying is that if you can delay your physical and cognitive function declining then you need to do that. And the idea is that because work keeps your mind and body active, that helps you to live longer. And once you stop work and your mind and body is not active anymore, that can be a problem for you. And also you're socially engaged, aren't you? You've got lots of people around you when you work, and then all of a sudden you don't anymore. So working helps to maintain this your mental and physical abilities. But I mean, the conclusion that I came to when I was looking at this research, I'm sure within time, that could change, but I think the key is it's individual. It's down to how you retire and how you treat it and how you prepare for it. I hear people say, I can't wait to retire, and what are you going to do when you retire? Well, I'm going to play golf. And I think, right, okay, that will be lovely, and you'd be able to play golf, but what, every day? And you're not going to do anything else? Or we can go on holiday whenever we want to. You can lie on a beach and drink a margarita. Yeah, okay, and how many times are you going to do that? If it's that, then yes, I think you would be on a decline. If you keep active in your mind and body with other things then to replace what you did when you were at work, learning new things, working out in the community, doing more exercise, if you plan your retirement that way, then I think it can add to your longevity, as opposed to what the suggestion might be, that retirement can be bad for people. Yes, I think it can be, but because we know what we know about these things now, then you're able to plan and make sure that you are not that person who's going to sit and watch TV for 8 hours a day. And that's okay every now and then. Especially if you're watching Yellowstone. I've just got back into Yellowstone. We watched the first series. Oh my goodness. Love it. Where was I? Watching television for 8 hours a day and then going playing golf, and then so your mind is not stimulated in any way, then it's not going to be good for you. I guess that's the idea. Anyway, what I want you to do is tell me what you think about retirement. I know lots of you are retired. How did you approach it? And if you're not retired yet, what do you think you're going to do when you do retire? Because I'd like to do a project on that at some point. So there you have it then. There you have how to live a long and happy life according to Japanese philosophy simplified into 10 rules that's in this book, Ikigai. Now, I love this quote by the 17th century, English author who simplifies it further and talks about, and he says, the 3 grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for, which I think is a fabulous quote, and that was Joseph Addison. Okay, so think about purpose and meaning. Give it some thought. And if you do know what your purpose and meaning is, put it in the comments for me. And we're going to do a few videos on it. If you don't know what your purpose is exactly, then we're going to look at some ways to sort that problem out. Okay, hope you had a lovely Easter. I did actually leave a message in the community tab. I don't know if you saw it, but if you do see one of those, please will you like it, and then I know that it's actually going out there, and obviously subscribe. And with that in mind, these subject matter that we talk about on here, sometimes the research is just phenomenal, and it means that I can't physically get these videos out on a Monday every week. So sometimes it might be 2 weeks and so on. But if you are subscribed, then you will at least be notified. But you have to go to your YouTube page, to the notifications, to see when a new videos come out. That would be great. Okay, I'll see you next time. Until then, remember that on the Happy Stuff and Fluff, we're getting happy, living longer, and growing younger. Check out this smile. See you next time. Bye bye.